In the heart of a bustling city in autumn 1918, the crowded streets echo with the distant thunder of World War I guns. But in the alley behind the hospital, something far more insidious unfolds. Nurses rush stretchers piled with men, lips stained by froth, faces fading blue. A young woman, barely 20, stands stunned as her father, a healthy railroad worker, collapses at her feet, gasping for breath. Doctors whisper in the shadows, "It's not cholera, not typhoid. We've never seen anything like this." Within weeks, doors are painted red influenza, in bold lettering. Coffins stack on sidewalks, families shattered. Telegrams filled with casualty lists suddenly carry a new phrase: Spanish flu. But the true horror is not just how quickly it spreads, but who it chooses. Unlike previous outbreaks that cut down the youngest and oldest, this virus tears through the strongest, the nurse's factory. Hands the soldiers meant to win the war. All across continents, young adults die within hours, while children and grandparents survive, bewildered. All hope seems lost. The pandemic infects 1/3 of all people on Earth, killing more than the war that rages just outside the window. Its greatest secret, the mystery behind its deadly W-shaped curve, remains. Locked in bodies buried under snow, hidden in hospital archives. The search for answers begins here. Black and white footage flickers. Soldiers march into makeshift hospital tents, coughing and exhausted. Beds overflow onto the floor. Nurses scrambling to triage the suffering. Outside, frostbitten faces line up for help that never comes. Inside, a young medic grips the hand of a corporal, strong and healthy yesterday, now dying, lips violet, bedsheets dotted with blood. The medic looks up, helpless, rows of bodies stretching into the shadows. None are children, none are elderly. All are in their prime. Why are the strong dying? He asks. Is this a plague? Headlines flash. Mysterious Spanish disease. Youths and soldiers most at risk. Fear ripples outward as communities realize that brute health offers no escape. The chaos deepens. The classic U-shaped flu chart splits, twisting into a W. Young men and women fall, while children and the very old often survive. No one knows why. Doctors blame fatigue, poison gas, fate itself. But inside autopsies, deeper answers lurk, a viral enigma unseen before. In the midst of the carnage, medical science grapples with clues scattered in devastated trenches, crowded barracks, and overwhelmed hospitals. Some point to Haskell County, Kansas, or Camp Funston, where an outbreak swept through troops housed near farms and rail lines. Others see hints from Europe or Asia. Wartime troop movements fan the virus across continents, and within weeks, the pandemic explodes worldwide. But the real killer may not be the virus alone. In the pre-antibiotic era, most deaths are driven by secondary bacterial pneumonia. The virus damages the lungs, and Streptococcus pneumonia, Staphylococcus aureus, and other bacteria invade, turning a respiratory illness into a fatal flood. Nurses and doctors see lungs filled with pus, fever spiking, breath fading, and nothing they can do stops the march to death. Scientists and pathologists desperately search for preserved tissues, for any trace of the virus's genetic code. Only fragments remain, locked in bodies, frozen in Alaskan permafrost, or embedded in formalin-fixed tissue blocks from European hospitals. The odds are against the mRNA from 1918 is fragile, degraded, and barely survives a century of exposure. Yet persistence pays off. First from Breivik mission in Alaska, then from Berlin and Munich, researchers sequence fragments, then the full genome. It's a scientific revolution. Next-generation sequencing allows millions of ancient molecules to be read out, compared, reconstructed, cleanroom labs, digital protocols, UV lamps every step, designed to keep contamination at bay. Ancient RNA is authenticated through patterns of damage, fragments that tell their story through chemistry and history. The Department of Archaeogenetics, the Reich Lab, the Robert Koch Institute all push the boundaries of what is possible, not just to solve a historical mystery, but to build a pipeline for future pandemic Genomic data reveals where the pandemic began and how it adapted. Every gene is compared, every mutation mapped, hemagglutinin and polymorphs, the viral weapons, enabling attack and replication, betray the secrets behind deadly efficiency. Phylogenetic trees point back to North America. Nodes clustered near Camp Fun, but mutations travel across Europe and beyond, showing a pandemic in motion. Within the body, the deadliest twist emerges. Young adults, the strong launch immune response is so fierce they destroy their own lungs. Cytokine storms flood tissues with cells and chemical signals, suffocating rather than saving. Autopsies show acute viral damage and overwhelming invasion by bacteria. Children and older adults, with less reactive immune systems or imprinted memories from previous flus, survive ugly, but survive. The line between resilience and vulnerability is blurred. Scientists resurrect the virus under BSL-3 enhanced containment. They test, prod, and sequence. Every move is watched. Every risk weighed. Ethical committees, government oversight, dual-use concern. Strict biosafety norms are enforced. Protocols, airlocks, autoclaves, select agent rules, and daily monitoring. The reconstructed virus becomes a tool for understanding, not terror. Ancient virus panels expand. Yersinia pestis, leprosy, tuberculosis other. Killers join the vault. Each contributes pieces to the puzzle. Evolution, adaptation, host interplay, immunoscopy. Paleogeneticists catalog changes across centuries, building digital libraries of threats past to predict dangers yet to come. The scientific gains are enormous. Knowing the 1918 genome means better diagnostics, stronger vaccines, smarter models. Functional studies show exactly how the virus evaded immune defenses and why it killed so fiercely. Countermeasures are developed against new flu strains. Vaccine stockpiles expand, and real-time genomic surveillance transforms global response. Researchers track mutations, follow outbreaks, and prepare for superbugs that might emerge. Yet with progress comes ethical challenge. Dual-use research, the knowledge that can help or harm, demands government, public, and scientific scrutiny. Genome data is shared, but responsibly. Institutions review risks. Journals debate what can and should be published, and conversations about trust, equity, and global cooperation grow louder. Transparency and accountability become as vital as speed and technology. Public health learns hard lessons. Non-pharmaceutical interventions, masks, school closures, hygiene prove crucial. Quick action saves lives. The world invests in stockpiles, hospital readiness, and data networks. Vaccine science advances with mRNA, viral vectors, and protein platforms adapted on the fly. Antibiotics and antivirals work together, but their loss to resistance threatens future response. Genomic surveillance, born out of ancient and modern pandemics, was once unthinkable, now indispensable. Worldwide cooperation, open data, early warning systems, and rapid vaccine updates shape our strongest lines of defense. But the heart of preparedness is not just science. It's trust, adaptability, public dialogue, and solidarity. From the haunting images of 1918 to the digital screens of today, the blueprint of the past shapes our future. Victims, heroes, and scientists alike push humanity to invest in vigilance, responsibility, and collective courage. The greatest pandemic taught us that survival is not just about strength, it's about balance, humility, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. And while the mystery behind the W-shaped curve inspired a century of inquiry, the answers it gave are not merely historical to guide the next fight to save lives.